Hey everyone, it's Luis Bedoya here, Charles Ruthenberg Realty. Welcome to my channel. I'm hoping my lights are not going to go off here on me. Just wanted to make a quick introduction to the Botanical Gardens. It's going to be a little dark in there, so just wanted to make sure you get to see this. Somebody asked me, Luis, what is Christmas like there in Pinellas County in the Tampa Bay area? So I just wanted to show you a couple of places. I'm going to be stopping by the Botanical Gardens and then going to the Largo Central Park. There's a lot more going on, like the Winterland Park in Clearwater downtown, and there's also stuff going on at John's Pass, including a whole boat parade. So if you have any questions, make sure that you reach out. In this channel, we like to talk a lot about short-term rental units, investment properties. If you're one of my clients, you've had the opportunity to work with me, I I really appreciate you. Make sure that you leave a like, that you subscribe to this channel if you want to see more about our community and hear a little bit more about our rental market and real estate market here in the Pinellas County. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to leave and show you the Botanical Gardens. Let's take a look. All righty, right, folks. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm actually going to be doing a little commentary while we're walking out the park. So I definitely don't want to walk the whole thing like this because people will be staring at me the whole time. And I want them to focus on their trip. Hopefully you can hear my voice clearly. All right, so I'm actually going to start on this side of the park. I want to walk here and go directly into the garden. So you might want to stick around before you click out of this video. This is going to be the most interesting, coolest part of the park. This is the Botanical Gardens, and I just wanted to stop by, take a quick video, and also tell you just a little bit more about our rental market, our amenities, our regulations, what people think, works out versus what actually works out, and a little bit more about our experience as investors here in the Pinellas County. So, where should we start? Definitely one of the things that I would like to begin telling you about is, do you really need to be right next to the beach? Is the proximity to the beach a key factor of your business? And absolutely, there is a huge advantage that comes with being by the water, as well as a price point and a price tag that comes with being by the water. It helps you maintain a lot of your occupancy rate because people definitely like to book places that are closer to the water. But at the end of the day, it always comes down to, most of the time, comes down to budget and are people getting a value for what they're paying for? Look how beautiful this is. So what do I mean by getting the value of what they're paying for? So, oops, sorry folks. Let me go ahead and fix the camera here. So what do I mean by the value of what they're getting for? So, certain Airbnbs come with amenities that stand out. And it's really important that you not only have a decent set of furniture and furnishes throughout the house, not just, a good set of towels and beddings and things like that, which are very key. That's like standard portion of our business. It's also really, really important for you to have those added amenities that people are looking for. And right now, one of those amenities is the the pool heater. A pool heater. We are getting questions. We got a lot of travelers and Airbnb guests, VRBO, booking.com. They're reaching out and they're asking our managers, hey, Louis, hey, Johan, do you guys have a heated pool? So if the answer is no, they'll rather go out and find another pool that actually comes with that heating element. It makes a huge difference, especially during these times. It's 60 degrees right now. As you can see, people are wearing jackets and beanies and hoodies and that type of stuff. So nobody really feels like getting inside of the water at this moment. However, if you have a heated pool, it's actually an incredible feeling to be inside the water, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, while it's 60 degrees outside. Actually pretty cool feel. And some of our houses actually come with spas right by the pool areas. So those actually do heat up all the way to 104 degrees. All right, so what other amenities do we look for? It's good to have pergolas. It's good to have things like space heaters beyond just a fireplace. We have the fireplaces, but we actually like to have space heaters in our units. If you ever go to a restaurant, Those are the ones that they hook up to a gas tank, a propane tank, and they produce heat in that space. So that's actually one of the things that we have added to our backyard spaces, besides having pergolas, besides having outdoors TV, besides having smaller sound systems. It's also something that we actually do recommend. We don't recommend you set up a huge speaker set in your patio and backyard because you probably annoy the neighbors. But if you have something that's just decent, and you always obviously make sure to have your rules and regulations posted at the pool areas, then there shouldn't be an issue. Another thing that we have added to our Airbnbs, just by the way, look how beautiful this is. Another thing that we've added to our Airbnbs is the outdoor kitchens. So we actually, this is why I wanted to start with, is it important for you to be next to the beaches, the proximity. I want to give you a case study of one of our properties that we set up in Pinellas Park. One of our clients inherited this Airbnb from one of our investors, and she went ahead and invested roughly about $50,000 on what I call bells and whistles. Obviously, not all of us have $50,000 to invest just on furnishings, but that being said, with that property, we have been able to have an incredible amount of bookings, even though it's 25 to 30 minutes away from the beach, folks. So when it comes to, do I need to be right by the beach? It will be great and it helps, but it's not a tell-all. You could be right next to the beach and still not make enough money if you don't have an amenity like a pool heater, if you don't have a pergola, if you don't have a space heater, especially during the high season, which is January through March. So how about we just talk about seasons for a moment? When I walk away from here, maybe we don't get too much of that, the music bleeding into the microphone. I think you can probably hear it. There's people out here dancing. Look how nice this light decoration that they've done. It's just beautiful. So this is a second entrance to the park. There's two ways to get in. This is the back way. Maybe I came into the back way. Anyways, so when it comes to seasons, what are our highest seasons here in the Pinellas County? Those will be starting on January, February, with our highest months of production being March. Then we move on to our slightly lower season, but still pretty profitable, which is May, April, May, June, July. Then it starts to slow down as we start hitting months like August, October, November, and December. It does pick up a little bit in December. We actually seen an increase in reservations in this particular December. But at the end of the day, folks, we are prepared to make the bulk of our money, to produce the bulk of our money and our income from the months of January through the month of March. I've seen months like that. Those months I've seen them go for up to $10, $12, and $16,000. Again, folks, we're talking about single family homes. So maybe we should talk about the type of homes after this, but basically just to recap here and not get too lost. Our highest months are January to March. So if you're setting up an Airbnb, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to get those months, or you want to hit the ground running so you can start cash flowing during those months. It's very special, very important that we do that. And then we wear off during the second half of the year, which is why we also recommend that you might want to switch your strategy, your pricing strategy, and you may want to start enticing people to book your property for months in advance. Okay, so instead of having a highly night rate like you normally do with your short term, you might want to switch to mid-term during the month of October, month of November. Those are good months for you to just book it out to for a single month, maybe take a little bit less of money, but not take that risk of trying to figure out what's going to happen with our market. I'm gonna go jump over the type of property in just a moment. But before I do that, let's talk about our market, especially 2023 and what happened during that time. Because obviously we had an incredible 2021, 2022, and then 2023, a lot of people came in and invested in the Airbnb market space, and a lot of people were left disappointed, thinking that there were going to be more money. They feel that maybe the market has gotten saturated, which is not the case. By the way, Kissimmee alone has 30,000 Airbnbs, okay? That's a smaller city than Largo and Seminole put together. So, and both those two cities are about 1,500 Airbnbs here in the Pinellas County. So that being said, I think I'm gonna have to turn around. They have the entry point right here, but look how beautiful this is. Kids and families are out here praying, playing. But anyways, our market in 2023 was not what we expected originally. There were a lot of changes in our economy. Interest rates went up. People got caught up with their credit card payments. And a lot of people also decided not to travel during those months. We are foreseeing that to be a release on the amount of people that travel to the Pinellas County next year in 2024. As the months get colder in states like New York, states like New Jersey, states like Virginia, as the months continue to get colder, people are more and more flocking and moving, trying to experience a little bit of the lifestyle and livelihood here in the Pinellas County. This week alone, hopefully you can see me here, it's a little dark. This week alone, I've talked to 2 investors, and both of them, separate, walkways and states, they're staying here for about a month or half a month. They brought their families, and they both found our place just basically Googling where to go vacation, where to go, which spots to go to. They decided to come in over to the Pinellas County and Largo. So our market in 2023 left a lot for us to desire, but we are definitely hoping to see an increase in 2023. Now the prices are beginning to increase, so that's a gradual increase. That's a gradual change. It doesn't happen overnight. So it's actually January is a month of correction for our prices as we start heading into that higher season. Okay. Hopefully that's clear enough. And again, you can always reach out, call me. I love to connect. I love to ramble about all this stuff. So you can call me. This is what I do for a living. And I do it with a lot of care and passion. All right, so let's talk about our type of property. For those who don't know, what type of properties do we prefer or choose or like to go with? Our favorite properties are single family homes. We pick homes that have at least 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, single private pools. Now the private pool, folks, we'll talk a little bit more about those, whether or not you should build your own pool or just buy an above the ground pool. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But just to stick around with these property type, we like single family homes, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths minimum. If you can get 4 bedrooms or 5, it's even that much better. And we also like to have, at least more than 1,000 square feet, at least more than 1,200. My range where it starts to get really nice is 1,500, and anything beyond that is just really good. If you find a house for 2,000 with 2,000 square feet with 3 to 4 bedrooms and a private pool, well, now we're talking about maybe about around $550,000, $600,000 in our current market. They are appreciating, folks. They are growing in price, which is one of the reasons why people like to set up these Airbnbs here in the Pinellas County. Okay, so about the pool, I actually like to find houses that have the meat and bones. If you're somebody who wants turnkey, that's a different story. But if you're somebody who's thinking, Louis, I'm gonna get this house, I'm pour a little bit of money into it for some equity, at that point, I'd definitely like to find a property that comes with a private pool, something that's already decent, that looks good, that we can just go ahead and fix and operate, right? So we go ahead and take care of the interior of the house, and we leave the exterior of the house to be fixed, including that we have a decent pool, a more recent pool, a nicer looking pool. Why? You might ask, why do I recommend that? Well, currently, it will take you about 6 months to a year for a pool contractor to finish that construction. I repeat, it will take between 6 months to 12 months, if not a year and a half, for the contractors to finish an in-ground pool right now in the current conditions. So if you are somebody who's going to have an Airbnb and you're thinking, I'll buy cheap and I'll just wait for that construction to finish, what are you going to do during those 6 months, 12 months? That's something that's scary to me, and it's hard for you to have any tenants in there while they're undergoing construction. There's a lot of liabilities. So when is it a good time for you to maybe buy a house without a pool and then put in a pool yourself? That's in the case of you considering staying at that house for a year. If it's gonna be your primary resident, you're gonna live there for a year and a half or less, then it's a good idea for you to come in, buy a cheaper home, and install your own pool. That's a possibility, but at the end of the day, when you're buying a pool off market, off of the market, I mean, when you get your pool directly already built in, you are buying it with a heavy discount. You know, people pay 80, $100,000 to build a pool. When they sell the house, that pool is worth $50,000. Well, that's also depending on their agents and what their opinion and direction is. So I've had one of my clients reached out to an agent, and that person mentioned that a pool will be only a $20,000 value add to a home, and that was absolutely laughable. There's no way that you would only add $20,000 to a comparable when you're including a private pool that's in ground, okay? So it's not $20,000. At the very least, I've seen them pop up on appraisal reports at $40,000, okay? In an appraisal report, I've seen them pull up at $40,000 up to $60,000 depending on the quality of the pool and the finishes. But I'm telling you folks, people spend up to $100,000 making these pools because they think, okay, here's where I'm gonna live, this is where I'm gonna stay. Years go by, the pool is only 10 years old, and they decide to sell the house. You take a massive discount when you buy a house like that. Okay, so how does it work? How do we find these houses? We just gotta keep scanning the market 3 times per day, pretty much is how we do it. And when these properties come up, we jump on them and pounce on them right away. That's the way it works here in Florida. And if you work with me, you might have had the experience that if we're not fast enough, those properties go really quick. They're out of the market by the time we go take a look at them. Check this out. Very nice. So I actually had that one experience happen to us this month. We found, we were looking for a particular specific house to remodel and refurnish. And the first one that we found, we were out there the very first day, and it was gone by the time that I came back home to share the video and start looking at the comparables. So, not, by the way, not that I'm moving slow, but there's just so much competition in our county. When there's so many flippers out there that when they see the right property hit the market, it's gone, you know? So I've had that situation happen to us this month actually, with 2 homes. We looked at 2 homes, and by the time we were done writing the contract, they were gone. And we did it all in the same day. There's no time being wasted. I go take a look, I make a video, an hour later, that video is in my client's hands. And then at that point, we're just making a decision. So one of the things that I preach that I like to do with all my clients that come across my doors, I like to do a thorough research, and I like to do a thorough portion of education and due diligence. That way, you as a client know exactly what you're getting into, how it's gonna work, how much it's gonna make, and what type of home you're looking for, and in what areas. If you have the opportunity to come here, that's great. I have the ability to take you around and show you. But if you can't do that and you wanna rely a little bit more on my judgment, I've been here for 10 years, 15 years. I know exactly where to put these houses. And that will save you a lot of time, save you a lot of headache, get you up to speed with the project so that by the time you come in and pull the trigger on these projects, on these properties, you know, sort of know what you're getting into. At the end of the day, there's also a percentage of unexpected that we can't control, such as our economy and market direction. But as long as you have a property with a pool, with privacy, in the right areas of the regulations of the county, and you have decent, or if not better, or good amenities, you should be good. Right now, if you have a pool, no heater, if you have a house with a pool and no pool heater, you know, you just have a barbecue grill out there and a couple of chairs, trust me, you're gonna get eaten by the competition. So everybody else is doing a much better job. People are actually starting to elevate their standards for Airbnb. Both our guests are elevating their standards, and the investors themselves. People are going out of their way to make houses very smart by adding smart elements, smart coffee maker, smart scale, smart mirror, smart everything, smart fans. Absolutely everything in the house is smart. What else have I seen? I've seen people paint murals in the back of their houses. So I'm just telling you, you have to make an experience happen. You have to create an experience. You can't just slap a house, furnish it, and put it on the Airbnb market. You can, and you just won't make as much money as you promised. And the other fact is that was a possibility in 2020, 2021, before the market got very serious. Let me go ahead and flip the camera so I don't look like a weirdo out here recording myself. Okay, just get out of the way here for a moment. I'll actually turn around and show you how cool this is. And maybe we should just finish our video here. Look how nice this is. Last but not least, folks, there was one more topic that I wanted to touch with you, and then I'll let you go, which is location. Where do we put these properties? Currently, the cities, and you might want to write this down, the cities that will allow you to do Airbnb, no problem, are Largo. We all know about that one. Indian Rocks Beach, a little bit more expensive. We have Pinellas Park, Kenneth City, and Palm Harbor. Okay? If there's anything else I'm missing, please let me know in the chat. And then when it comes to properties set up in the unincorporated areas of the county, we are talking about Seminole unincorporated, Clearwater unincorporated, St. Pete unincorporated, Dunedin unincorporated. Where else? I think those are the majority of them. Then you have areas like St. Pete Beach. They do a minimum of 30 days, right? So if you're somebody who wants to have a midterm rental, you're gonna occupy the house for 3 months at a time. You just need a small condo, second home, 10% down. That will be your go-to. St. Pete Beach, if you still want to be by the beach and you're not too concerned with the square footage, if you have a smaller family. But our bread and butter here has been the single family home style. So folks, if you have any questions, if you have any further concerns, or maybe you already have an Airbnb and it's not doing well, or things are just, you have questions, you'd like to improve anything, please make sure that you reach out. I am a very helpful guy, and I am also very, very connected in this area. So I am a wealth for you when it comes to finding the right inspector, finding the right contractor, finding the right handyman, finding the right insurance policies. Oh my Lord, let's not even begin there. Let's not even start open that can of worms. All I want to say about insurance policies is, for short-term rentals, I call a company and I get a quote for $10,000, then I call the next one, it's $6,000, and I call my company, it's $3,000 a year. So a lot of people, before they invest, they say, I'm gonna call an insurance agent and find out and get a quote, see if I want to do this, and the quote comes back at $15,000. It's like, hey, Louis, I'm not gonna do this. Or they just simply not even say anything back to me. They don't explain to me the reason why they're staying away from this investment. So I like you to know that when it comes to insurance policies and insurance companies, we have multiple options for you to test out and try out. Beyond managers, beyond cleaners, beyond super hosts, co-hosts, and all of these required elements that you probably need for your short-term rental unit. All right, folks, I hope you like this tour. This is the Botanical Gardens in Seminole. By the way, this is Seminole right next to the Walsingham Park. There's actually another park right next to this one, which is more natural. There's no light in there. It closes that down, and it's an incredible place to take your dogs to. So if you actually go in my channel and you type Walsingham Park, Luis Bedoya, you will see a video of me probably 2 years ago. Hopefully you like that one. But hey, I hope you like this video. Like and subscribe. Make sure that you leave a comment below, that you leave a little heart, that you put the notification bell, all that jazz. And I look forward to meeting you, hearing from you, and connecting with you further. All right, bye-bye.